Welcome to another vlog from Andrew Thrills, and today I'm in Disneyland Paris in the Disneyland Park. I'm here for just quite a few days, about 4 or 5 days, and just arrived just now with the train that gets directly into the park almost, and here back after a 10-year hiatus. I've not been for 10 years, so it's very exciting to be back here, doing all the rides, doing a couple of new things that have been added over the last 10 years, such as Star Tours, a new version of that, Ratatouille ride in the movie park, and just a couple of refresh things going on. I think not loads of additions in the last 10 years, to be fair, but enough to be interesting, I think. So we're going to check out today, again, all the rides, hopefully some point of view videos as well on board on Big Thunder Mountain. Sure, I can film that. A couple other coasters and all the dark rides, of course. So yeah, it's going to be great, and I'm really going to enjoy it, I think. So let's get on some rides just now and see what we can do. It's Big Thunder Mountain, of course. It's on 75 minutes. It's a bit long. I'll come back later to do that one. Probably head over to do Phantom Manor, which of course has reopened just a few weeks ago after an extensive refurbishment. It's pretty much remained the same from what I know, but it's just been refurbished and just made a little bit better, maybe. So I'm looking forward to getting on there. And I'll come back to do a Big Thunder Mountain later.
Our tour begins here, in this garden, where you gaze upon the sweet innocence of youth. Kindly step all the way in. Perhaps you sense a disquieting metamorphosis. Hélas, les choses ne sont pas toujours ce qu'elles paraissent. Tous les contes n'ont pas de fin heureuse. It appears everyone is doomed at Phantom Manor. Even you? Notice this. This chamber has no windows and no doors, which offers you this chilling challenge to find a way out. Par ailleurs, il n'y a ni porte, ni fenêtre. Par où sortir? Si vous ne trouvez pas le moyen de vous échapper, le fantôme des lieux se fera un plaisir de vous aider. I didn't mean to frighten you prematurely. Venez donc faire la connaissance de la future mariée dont la...
Yeah, good little ride on Phantom Manor. Not much has changed, I think. It's just been spruced up and made look right, I guess, with the refurbishment. But the animatronics are looking really good, especially the end bit with the cowboys and this guy that's waiting at a grave and laughs at you, a skeleton kind of figure. Yeah, it looks really good. Yeah, maybe get on Big Thunder Mountain a bit later on. Probably come back for that later on tonight, I think. The queues die down. The park is open till 10:30, so there's plenty of time to get on there as it goes around. That's a good ride. So yeah, let's see what we can get onto. Maybe go to Discovery Land and check out some of the rides like Star Tours and Hyperspace Mountain. definitely new. I didn't see that before. The Wall-E characters. Love that film. It's one of my favorite Disney movies ever. So I'm going to go into starters. One thing I did notice, this is a new version that I've not been on yet, the version 2. The L'Aventure continues. Continue, however you say that in French. What I did notice straight away at the starters entrance is that there used to be a big X-Wing. And there's an X-Wing on the Star Wars shop. But I don't know if it's the same one. I definitely remember seeing that X-Wing with the wings expanded as it usually flies when it's not in combat mode or whatever, and that used to be over here. So I don't know if it's the same one. Probably is, I would imagine, but it definitely looks a little bit different, obviously. So it's a different entrance, but we're going to see what the second version of Star Tours is like.
Wonderland, recently voted safest planet in the galaxy by hyperspace traveler. This incredible getaway package is 3 times the fun in one. So ask your Star Tours travel consultant to book yours today.
Et bien ça y est, c'est la pause. C'est une bonne chose parce que tout ce travail me vide les batteries. Je prends 5 minutes et je reviendrai comme l'heure. Alerte détectée. Alerte. Seriously, how do I know?
Tous les passagers doivent se tenir prêts pour un embarquement immédiat.
So I had to sort of think about Star Tours for a minute. You know, what did I think about Star Tours Adventure Continues? I actually had to look this up. There's Donald. I had to look this up when it opened here because I think Star Tours 2 opened quite a while ago in Disneyland in America. I think 2011. But it didn't come to Paris until 2017, so it's just 2 years ago. And so the ride system has obviously been improved with CGI effects. I fully understand that, and what's cool, I guess, is that they can throw in any new scene. So you see like stuff from the Battle of Crate from The Last Jedi, which, you know, obviously only came out 1.5 years ago. So obviously they can throw things in there from the latest movies. Which is quite a good idea. I personally didn't like it that much. There wasn't any story to it. It just seemed to be sort of random scenes. It was a bit unclear what was going on because it was all French. I don't speak French. Obviously I understand a lot of the rides have to be in French, but the original Star Tours here in Disneyland Paris was actually half French, half English. And I really enjoyed it because there was like a bit in the middle where you get thrown into the battle of, I have to think now, the Battle of Yavin 4. I think it's the first Death Star. And then all of a sudden you see this Rebel Alliance fighter pilot come up in the side screen and he says, "Star Tours, what are you doing here? And ease up on your main thruster," and stuff like that. It's just really cool. And there was none of that. Instead, everything was in French, and we suddenly got let me think now, some characters of the latest Star Wars movies. Well, we saw John Boyega, Finn. He was speaking French, which is crazy, but fair enough. That's all been dubbed. So he was there. But Poe Dameron, that's what I was trying to think of. He appeared in some kind of hologram or something like that, and he was saying something. I have no idea what he was talking about. Again, it was all in French. But there just didn't seem to be much of a story. Maybe there is, or maybe it kind of went over my head. Obviously, the effects are still really good. It was 3D, you had to wear 3D glasses, and the ship's movements, the sort of simulator, seemed very similar to the original ride. I don't think that's changed much. I don't know if those machines are actually different or they're still original. No idea. Obviously, the screen technology has been improved tremendously. It's much cleaner and that kind of stuff that looks better. But as for a ride experience, I don't think so. I think the original ride was far better. But I would obviously appreciate that for younger people. It's not going to be that impressive watching 34-year-old visual effects with miniatures. So yeah, but I still think that time of Star Wars to me has a special place, and it's whatever they're doing now, I don't think it's really improving Star Wars that much, but obviously it's still drawing a huge crowd, so the ride has to be updated. But I thought it was a little bit disappointing, really. Well, actually, very disappointing. It was one of the rides I was really looking forward to coming out here and riding for the first time after it's been changed since the last time I was here. And bearing in mind that was only changed a few years ago, I don't think it's that impressive. But anyway. Well, a little change of plans. Space Mountain was a 45-minute queue. I could get in the hotel, so I thought, get my things sorted in the hotel and then come back out, which is literally what I've done. So I'm actually in the Walt Disney Studios Park right now, and I'm going to try and get on Rock and Roller Coaster, on Twilight Zone of Terror, and anything else. I only got like 1 or 2 hours before the park closes. And after that, head back to the Disneyland Park. Yeah, it's a little bit disappointing, like I said today, with the Star Tours, but I'm not going to let that spoil my fun too much. It's just one of those rides I've been looking forward to, or just curious about the last couple of years, and I don't really think it's an improvement at all. I would have preferred the old one, but I'm sure a lot of people would disagree with me. So let's try and do a couple of rides here, and then I'll head over to the other park. So what I noticed is when you walk towards the backlot area of the Walt Disney Studios Park, you notice that this whole area has now been cordoned off, where the Armageddon ride used to be. Also the entrance of Twilight Zone Tower of Terror is all the way back at the main building, really, number 1 studio. So that's a bit of a change, you know. There's only this one sort of way of walking now, and there's not really much to see here. Anyway, this is one of the reasons why I come to this park, is this ride. So hopefully I'm still going to love this. It's been 10 years since I've ridden this. One of my favorite dark roller coasters, well, the favorite dark roller coasters I've got. And let's see if it's still good 10 years on. It's only got a few more months to go, and then this is going to be rethemed to a complete Marvel roller coaster for Iron Man, I believe. But in the meantime, it's still Aerosmith. Let's ride it. Yeah, Rock and Roller Coaster. So this is the first time we've been on it in about 10 years. It's a little bit rough, if I'm being really honest with you. It's still, you know, the launch still kicks ass and it's good, but it's definitely got a little bit rougher over the years. So I wonder if, you know, before they retheme it to Ironman, if they'll do some track work and maybe a new train will help a lot of things, new wheels or something like that. But still great, but I might not give it as many re-rides as I was initially thinking to do. So we'll see. But let's try and get on Tower of Terror and whatever else we can do in this park before it closes. Yeah, the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror still packs a punch when you do the drops. Really like it. I mean, I love the ride. The theming is astonishing, really. Also in the queue area. The ride itself is a lot of fun. It's not too scary in my opinion, but some people find it very scary, the drops, the sudden drops. I always seem to get the French version. There is an English version they can play here. So hopefully during the week when there's maybe a few less sort of day trippers, you know, French people, will be able to play it on English for me. We'll see. There's a roller coaster credit here I've never done. It's called RC Racer. I'm not quite sure when it was built. It must have been after 2009, last time I was here. But I'm going to try and get on that. And one of the main reasons is that that ride is going to be closed for some maintenance this week. So I'm literally only going to be able to do it right now. So hopefully get on that, see what that's like, and get that credit done. It's just a little back and front kind of thing. I'm not quite sure what you call these roller coasters. You go up and down, just a bit of airtime at the front and at the back. It's more like a swinging ship from what I've kind of seen. But it is an official roller coaster credit somehow. So I'm not quite sure where it is. I think it's in this Toon Town area. So we're gonna walk over there, see if we can get on that, and get that done. This area is completely new for me. This Toy Story play area. This was not here last time I was in Disneyland Paris, Walt Studios Park. Let's see if we can get on this RC Racer thing. I'm not sure it's running. I've not seen it going up yet. Looks like it's closed. I'm not sure. People are just watching here. It's definitely a coaster credit. Theming should be fun. Looks good. I have a bad experience with some of these big swinging ships, to be fair. I do go for my head. It's extreme airtime. Ironically, I cannot handle, it seems, but we'll see. Definitely gonna give it a go. We'll see if it's as bad as one of those extreme swinging ships. Definitely a coaster credit. Built by Intamin in 2010. They're the king of launch coasters, and it is kind of a launch coaster. But it's kind of a weird one. I was actually ready for it to go upside down. I wouldn't have minded that at all. It wasn't so bad, and it doesn't last very long. If you're on something like that for a long time, it can make you very queasy, that constant feeling, and you get that a lot on these swinging ships. So if you like that, do those rides. There's one in the Efteling that really made me ill one day. Efteling in the Netherlands. But that was fun. I'm glad I got that little credit out of the way, and this is, like I said, it's going to be closed for the rest of the week. The tires on it seem to be squealing quite a bit. I think it's the tires or the brakes, I'm not quite sure. Very noisy when it's coming to a halt, so maybe that's something they're going to rectify and just yeah, sort out. But it's a fun little addition to the park. It's not really a big, you know, coaster, but it's better than nothing, that's for sure. Well, I kind of forgot about this ride when I was thinking that when the Rock and Roller Coaster closes for the retheming, you're only going to have Crush's Coaster left, but of course you've got this one as well, so still got two coasters, but they're obviously kind of tame and short. Crush's Coaster is the better one out of those two for sure. It's a lot of fun, and I'm sure I'll get to do that one this week. It's always got massive queues during the day, so it's not been a ride I've been looking to do today at all. But anyway, I think the queue lines are closing, or they have closed, so probably going to make my way to the other park, get something to eat, and then do Big Thunder Mountain, maybe Pirates, something like that, and might stay for the fireworks tonight. And then that'll be the end of a great first day here at Disneyland Paris. But I expect some more rides I expect to be able to do more rides during the rest of the week, when hopefully it's a little bit quieter, and make use of the free Speedy Pass system. You can come back at a certain time, and yeah, it's going to be good. Hopefully the weather stays like this. A little bit warmer would be nice. Anyway, on to the next park, and I'll see you there. Yeah, Big Thunder Mountain, one of the few roller coasters that operates with 5 trains on the track in one go, which is quite unique. It's been retracked a couple of years ago, I believe, and the track looked quite new to me. It was closed for a long time. I can't remember when that was, maybe about 4 years ago or something like that. It was closed for almost like a year, and I think they did a lot of retrack work. From what I could see in the station, the track looked relatively new, but I actually thought it was a little bit rough, if I'm being really honest with you, but it's still a lot of fun, and the back is the best if you manage to get a chance to ride it. Yeah, fantastic ride, and I'm sure I'll be doing plenty of re-rides this week. Indiana Jones and Le Temple du Peril, the Temple of Peril, is only in a 5-minute queue. It's usually a very short queue, so it's a good opportunity to go on. It's a shame that trains no longer face backwards, and that was more than 10 years ago, I think. For a couple of years they ran them backwards, and it was awesome. The thing what they could have done maybe is leave one backwards and put one forwards, and then maybe split up the queue that you get to pick, you know, if you want to ride it forwards or backwards. That would have been a solution, but I don't know if that's technically possible. But it was a lot of fun. These are the queue lines around the Indiana Jones ride that you no longer really see. There's loads of little props around here. I remember seeing them all in detail for a long time in the early days of Disneyland Paris back in 1993 when I came here for the first time. And yeah, when you were queuing all the way along here, it's a nice distraction. But yeah, these days the queues are literally 5 minutes quite often, especially in the evenings, later on in the day. So it's easy coaster to get onto, easy credit to re-ride as often as you like. And it's a lot of fun. I like the layout. It's a little bit short, but it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun, this coaster. So let's ride. Here's the famous loop. There it comes. Awesome. And it's actually walk-on. It's not even a 5-minute queue. Awesome little walk-on ride on Indiana Jones. It's a bit more of a queue now, actually, but it's a great little coaster. A lot of fun. Like I said, it is more intense backwards from what I remember, but the loop is still very intensive. It's facing forwards. It's really good. That bit is definitely the best bit, and then there's some nice little helix after that. So yeah, it's a good ride. Definitely should definitely be on your list if you fancy coming down here. This park. It is a classic park, but maybe they need to add some more coasters. A Woody, I think, would be awesome. Maybe in this area, the Adventure Land or Frontier Land. That would just be amazing, like a GCI. So who knows? Maybe one day.
No, yo me quedo con ella, vamos. ¿Qué coño estaba ahí? Porque la he visto mirando en la tienda.
Nice little ride on Pirates of the Caribbean. It's always a lot of fun. So I'm gonna see if I can get on one more ride maybe. It's almost 10 o'clock, so park is about to close. So Disneyland always looks lovely at night, I have to say, with all the lights everywhere. I believe Hyperspace Mountain is on a relatively short queue now, so unlike in the afternoon. Interesting to note all this, can't see much probably, but it's Autopia redevelopment. I don't know what that's going to be like when that reopens. I miss the petrol cars, to be honest with you. I don't think it's any good without petrol cars. Hyperspace Mountain 5 minutes, it says, so which is cool. Because this afternoon it was 45 and the queue was outside. Let's get on it. Not done this with the new Star Wars overlay. Very curious to see what this looks like. And if it's a worthy successor or replacement, permanent, who knows? There's a lot of walking just to get to this spot. But you can get on the next train probably. So taking one of the trains off the track is very interesting to see. And what used to be Space Mountain, but it's now Hyperspace Mountain. I thought the overlay, the Star Wars overlay, is very good. Is it better? It's different, but it's good. I think they made good use of the music, obviously the Star Wars music at the beginning. Hearing the theme, yeah, really puts you in the mood. And the laser effects are really well done, so that's great. Again, find the coaster a little bit rough, but I've been spoiled by riding so many, you know, newer rides recently, such as Icon at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, some other Facomas that I don't think are as bumpy as that, but it gets a lot of abuse, of course. It gets a lot more rides than most theme parks do. So, I mean, I think it's a great ride, but you know, maybe it needs a little bit of retrack work as well. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not an expert, but it's. I can't remember Space Mountain being as bumpy as that, to be honest with you, but maybe it was. It's so hard to say. A lot of coaster technology these days has definitely moved on, and you get more smooth tracks, such as on Icon. Anyway, it was fantastic. The launch is great. It's going up now, and it's a lot of fun, to be fair. So definitely get some re-rides on that next couple of days, and might change my opinion on it a bit more. Usually it takes a couple of goes to really appreciate a roller coaster, to be fair. So the overlay is good, though, to be fair. I still don't think it fits in with the building, but that's what they're doing here. Everything is centered around their big movie franchises rather than original ideas, which used to be more of a big thing in this park and the Studios Park. Something I really missed today, being in the Studio Park, is the ability to go on Cinema Geek or to see the show. That I thought was awesome. Again, it gets a little bit dated maybe for younger people, so anyway, I'll catch some of the fireworks probably, and then make my way back home to the hotel. It's not home, but home for the next couple of days. It's been a great day, considering I was in a different country this morning. Getting here and riding all these rides, not too bad. Anyway, I'll catch you in the next vlog. Thanks for watching.